Madison, and I'm your host today for Stitch Stories. Today I have with me Emily. Hi, Emily. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing really well, yeah.
Love it.
Um,
Love it. Can you kind of tell the audience a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do?
Hi, well, I'm Emily. At the moment, I'm a university student and I spend a lot of time traveling in my holidays. I've kind of been known as the person who's never in a city I'm studying in. I'm always off
Yeah.
somewhere else doing something weird. But yeah, I track my travels on social media. Not really a big influencer, but I put my stuff out there, have a bit of
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, I love it. Well, and it was so cool. I love stumbling across your TikTok to find your patches, and then of course, it snowballed to being able to chat today. But I've loved to kind of keep up to date on what you've been up to recently too, since we started talking and all of your travels you've done recently.
Yeah.
Very cool. Love it. All right. Well, we can kind of get started. And I would love to ask the first question because, of course, today's conversation kind of revolves around patches. And I wanted to ask you just the first thing is what kind of got you into collecting patches?
Oh, I was that typical person when I started traveling on my own. I bought the Osprey backpack, like everyone has, and then
Yeah.
had a realization of, oh, if I'm picking up this backpack in a hostel or like on like an airplane like luggage collection, I have no idea which one's mine. Just like
Yeah.
looking for ways to like personalize it. And I went, ribbon, boring, and I was like, oh, I can put patches of where I've been on it, and that's kind of where it all started.
Cool. I love it. I love it. I love it. Do you remember the first patch you kind of purchased?
The first one was actually my own country flag, so being
Okay.
from Wales. That was the first one. It's on the top, really like prominent in its design, and it's such a unique flag. A lot of people don't actually know what the Welsh flag looks like. It's a really nice one. It's got a big red dragon on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, cool. And I noticed you had the bag with you just a second ago. Do you want to
yeah.
show? I would love to see kind of what that flag looks like.
It's getting a bit full now, but this
Yes,
is
I love
it.
it. I love how full it is.
Yeah, this is my country's flag where it started, and now I've kind of gone on the sides and like
Yeah.
it's starting to
Just
get a bit
started
full.
adding from there.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Would you say that that first patch, the flag of Wales, is that your favorite patch, or do you feel like you have another one that you would maybe say is your favorite?
Ooh, it's really hard 'cause each has like their own story of like the country I've been
Totally.
to. But probably the one I got from Iceland. Where?
Okay.
Here. Here it is. It's not the
Cool.
country flag, it's one of like the traditional like art designs from out there,
Yeah.
which I think is like really interesting because it still represents the country so well
Totally.
and my time out there, but
Yeah.
it's a bit different, adds a bit more
Yeah.
character
It's a
to like the
more
patch.
unique. Yes, for sure. And it helps commemorate like the trip and the things you likely saw while you were there. That's very, very cool. I love it. Do you typically just collect patches from different countries, or do you do kind of like anytime you see a patch, or do you have any like rules regarding that?
It's typically every country, there's a few
Yeah.
exceptions.
Hmm.
I I've got a little pat from my favourite surfing place, which is an inland like surfing zone near where I study now,
Yeah.
and love it there. That's stitched on like near my home country
Uh-huh.
at the start. But I was like, if I keep buying patches for all these little bits, I was like, I'm gonna run out of room in this bag so quickly. I was a bit
Yes,
like,
definitely.
ah. Like I went away in the UK down to Cornwall and almost came back with one, but then I was like, it was such a beautiful one. I was like, I had nowhere to put it. I was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I think that kind of begs another question. If you end up running out of room on this backpack, do you kind of have a plan of how you'll continue collecting afterwards?
Ooh. I do want to not stop, but I haven't quite come up with that idea.
An idea,
My
yeah.
backpack does have like a little day pack that comes with it, which I
Okay.
haven't like touched yet.
Yeah.
But that's tiny, so I was probably get filled up with like maybe like five, six patches.
Yes, yeah, like it wouldn't take long to fill up.
No.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like, is there any way I can like put ribbons on my bag and like
Oh
add them
yeah,
down the side? Yeah, I
definitely.
just love the conversations the bag starts rather than just keeping it in
Yeah.
my room.
Definitely. Have you ever had some interesting conversations when you're traveling with it and then somebody sees it and they come up to you?
I've had a few. I was queuing for a flight. Like I'd boarded the flight to Morocco, and we were like stuck like in like that airplane walkway weird thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And this guy behind me, it was like, oh, all the countries in your bag. That's not all your nationalities. I was like, no, no, just one of them. The rest of the countries I've been to, and we started
Yes.
chatting. And he was from Morocco and was telling me about all these cool places.
Yeah.
Um, so the village I was going to, he lived a couple times over,
Okay.
and was telling me all about like his favorite food spots in the village, which
Yeah,
was really
yeah.
nice. Yeah,
Oh, fun. Yeah, you get a little bit of an insider info, get some insight into what
yeah.
you do. Yeah. Did you enjoy your Morocco trip?
Oh, I loved it. I went out again the next year.
Love it. Oh, love it.
Yeah,
I really Morocco's on my bucket list. I would love, love, love to visit one day. I think it would be so cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely worth it. I've not been to like Marrakesh, Casablanca. I went further south, to a place called Tagazout, big
Okay.
surfing place. You can probably tell I'm a surfer from my board to the back.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, and I want to go back now and do like more of it. Like I've done part of the desert, but I want to go like explore
Back.
more up north. Yeah.
Love it. Oh, cool. Yeah, and that sounds so awesome. And I hope you get to like down the line. I hope you kind of get to go back and go see it again. Um, the question that kind of brings to my mind is, so say you travel to a country twice, do you typically get a patch both times you go, or just the first time you go?
Um, it tends to be the first time.
Okay.
Um, so I went to Germany twice on one trip about two
Mm-hmm.
years ago because interrailing. So I came through Germany up north through Berlin, came out the other side, and the
Okay.
end of my trip came through Munich and back out.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't buy another patch,
Yeah.
and I've been back to Germany since. And I just think unless it's something extra to that patch, not really something I'd want to add again.
Yeah, yeah. Would
Yeah,
want another one for it. It helps commemorate your visit to the country itself, but it's not one specific trip. So when you look at it, maybe you think of Berlin or of Munich, but it just
yeah.
commemorates all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if it was something like special, like associated with it, like I went up for the Berlin Marathon recently.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and I was looking for a Berlin like marathon, like Pacific patch. There
Yeah.
wasn't one. So I was like,
Oh,
oh, if they had one, that would have come back and been added, like next to the
bummer.
German one.
Yeah.
I'd taken some off and moved them all around.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I know that's always a bummer when like there is a specific instance where you want a patch, but then you can't find one. I always say I'm like I wish I could just kind of design my own and be able to commemorate whatever the instance is, because it is a bummer when you're actively looking for one and then you can't find the one you're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. Okay, so that brings me kind of to my next question, which we kind of covered a little bit, but if you have anything else to add, feel free. How do you kind of see your collection? Where do you see it going in the future as you continue to grow more, as you leave university, as you grow? Is there any other ways that you think you'll display or you'll get patches as you kind of go throughout the rest of your life?
Oh, I think it's going to become more tricky, I think, because
Yeah.
I'm exploring a bit more now. I've got a trip booked to South Africa, and
Oh,
I'm like,
cool.
I think the a lot of like the patch culture is mainly Western Europe and the
Hmm.
US at the moment,
Hmm.
mainstream. And like
Yeah.
I struggled out in Morocco finding the patch. I couldn't
Yeah.
find one. I had to resort to Etsy. I was gutted after two trips.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be harder, and I really want to like support the local people.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, it's gonna be more difficult. Probably spend more of my holidays patch hunting, but that's more the
Yes.
fun. But I guess if it comes to it, I'd be waiting or looking on Etsy. It just feels like kind of against the point.
Yeah. I know. I know that's been a topic with everybody that I've chatted with through this class project of it feels really special to get the patch in the place and
Yeah,
support the locals or support the artists that create them. Not that you're not supporting artists when you buy it from Etsy or from like another souvenir shop online, but it is hard because you want to commemorate the experience, but you also kind of want to get the actual souvenir there. So it's a tough balance trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I think it's kind of getting to the point like magnets are like everywhere, and I wish
Mhm.
patches were on the same level.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a magnet collector too, but like, I wish patches was starting, and I think it definitely is. Like, I'm starting to notice compared to like 2 years ago, you get multiple choices now rather than just
Totally.
the one for the country. Like,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
walk into a souvenir shop or like a local shop, they'd be like, not just like one, they'd be like
One sleeve.
4 or 5 different sizes, different, like, maybe they've got the country's like coat of arms on it instead, or like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
landmark. Yeah, it's getting a bit more
There's some
exciting.
variation there, most definitely.
Yeah,
I've even seen that where I started collecting patches most was our national parks throughout the U.S. And a couple years ago, there was always some options, but now you go and there's typically anywhere of 10 plus options, which is amazing. You have so many different choices that you can make, and you can really be selective of, oh, I really like this one, or oh, I really like that one. This one fits the parameters I really like. So I've definitely seen an uptick in at least the last 3 or 4 years of,
yeah,
yeah, there's more and more. And I think more and more people are discovering what the funness that is a patch, and being able to collect that and then display it, whether it's on a backpack, or I have mine pinned up on my wall. Some people, I used to have mine on the top of my car, and some people like put them
oh my god,
across the ceiling of their car. And it's a very cool thing to see, and you can kind of, you can make it work for you, whatever the fun way to display it for you is, you can make it work, which is really, really fun.
yeah. I find a lot of time when I'm traveling, when I buy my patches on the trip, it's
Mm-hmm.
a great like way to like use up time when you're like on a long bus or a long train or sat in an
Mm-hmm.
airport. You can just sit there and stitch them on. Like, I bring a little
Yep.
sewing kit for like to fix clothes. In
Yep.
reality, it's me putting the patch
It's
on.
a badge on the back. Yes, I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I was sat in a bus station. I want to say it was Serbia, and I was stitching on my floor, and someone was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm just putting a new patch on my back."
Badge
And he's
on.
like, "Have you got this country?" I was like, "Yeah, I've just been there." But
Oh,
yeah,
fun. Yeah, yeah. I've never thought about that. Like even doing it on the trip, it's a great way. I mean, you spend some time searching for the patch and purchasing the patch, and then you spend some time actually stitching it onto your bag, and that's a really
yeah,
fun thing. And it gives you something to do with your hands while you're probably sitting digesting all of the travels and the things you've experienced. It gives you some time to just think about those things while actively doing something, which I love.
yeah. It's a great reflection time for me.
Yes.
Like, the buses can be like 10 hours, and whilst the scenery's great, after like 3, 4 hours, you're like, ah, okay.
You're like, okay, I'm at my limit here. I need
Yeah,
to do something with my hands, or at least to distract, get some movement in.
yeah.
Definitely. Definitely. Well, I love it. Well, so I think that's a great segue into a little bit of some other questions I wanted to ask you. When you kind of look at souvenir patches today, we've talked about how they've gotten a little bit more popular. They're in more stores these past couple years. But do you notice any differences from the patches you see now versus the patches you used to see? Like any design differences, any size differences? We talked a little bit about how many there are. Just what differences have you seen from maybe a couple of years ago to now?
Ooh, I'm trying to think of an example of one because they've changed so much. You don't really realize till you look at them.
Yeah, yeah,
I think a lot of them. So they started off like the ones at the top are the older ones.
uh huh,
They're all just like squares
yeah,
of the flag, and they kind of evolved into like, I don't know what you'd call this sort of shape,
like a
but that sort
badge
of shape.
almost. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it kind of got to the point. I got this really cool one in Denmark for the New
Oh,
Year last
cool.
year.
Yeah,
And it's just they've moved away from that typical like square standardized shape, and like
hmm,
they've all come up with like their own
definitely.
shape to reflect. Like there's more variety and creativity being put into them rather than just, oh, we need a patch in the shop, let's just print the flag on one,
Yes,
which is
yeah.
like really exciting. And then you've got ones which are adding like bits of the like culture. So my Morocco patch has got lots of houses in the typical style of
Hmm.
houses up there and the colourful down in the surfing villages, which is
Yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Yeah, I totally agree with you that too. Like I have this patch right here, which is actually a boot. It's a instead of being a square, it's in the shape of like a hiking boot, and I think that's so cool because
Yeah.
I mean that must be I'm not super knowledgeable in how patches are like the stitching,
Yeah.
making them myself, but I think it's really cool to see the different shapes and sizes and different things that they can make happen because that's totally true. It doesn't all have to be just a square or even just a circle. You can really change them to make them unique and have different meanings and different shapes and things.
Yeah, I think there's definitely more of a market now for people who are making patches to explore what they can do
Totally.
with them, which is great for everyone who's buying patches. And hopefully it'll excite more people into getting them too. Like,
Yeah.
they're not just, oh, it's a flag. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's a flag, but it's got this on it and it's really cool. I'd like
Yeah.
that. And then working on
Mhm.
what they do with them afterwards and go, oh, I want more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. I know it's so cool. It's cool to see how it's grown and how it will continue to grow in the future. Do you think for yourself you'll continue for every trip you go on to try to collect a patch, or do you think that'll always be something that you want to do as you continue traveling throughout your life?
I think for me, it's going to be I want a patch from every country.
Mm-hmm.
And like we know at the moment, like countries are always evolving and
Uh huh.
creating. So I think if I go back to a country in like 20, 30 years' time, I hope still be traveling. And
Yeah.
if they've changed their flag or changed their country name
True.
or that country no longer exists anymore and
Mm-hmm.
they've evolved into like two separate countries or whatever politically is
Yeah.
going on at the time, I
Yeah.
hope I can get a patch that reflects that because
Mm-hmm.
it's like it'd be such a different time for that country and you can compare the trips. Yeah, for the
Totally.
better
Yeah.
or the worse, whatever happens.
Yeah. That is such a great point. I've never even thought about it in that way. It can kind of showcase the history and those, how that can change, even just from a matter of years of now to 20 years from now. If you go to a country that has split or has a different name, different flag, that's a really cool thought. I've never thought about that
Yeah,
before.
I think I thought about it a lot because my last big trip was out to the Balkans in Europe, which a
Fun.
lot of the countries used to be part of Yugoslavia.
Hmm. Hmm.
And obviously their flags evolved and changed a lot over the past 30, 40 years. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you can see essences of that still in the countries somewhere. And I think the world's ever evolving. We might see that elsewhere in the future.
Yeah. Definitely. The patch you got from there, did you get the current flag or did you get one of like an old iteration of it?
I always get the current
Current. Okay.
iterations. I
Hmm.
had a bit of a I did a short trip like in the UK and Northern Ireland, and I had a bit of a conflict because obviously they have quite a big conflict over the flag. So I
Hmm.
let my Northern Irish friend choose one. I was like, I'm not getting involved in this.
Yes.
You
This
can
is
pick my
not.
flag for me. I
Yeah.
was like, yeah. I think it's difficult at times. Like that's like the first like conundrum I had in my head of, oh wait, this country can't agree on a flag.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which one do I pick? But
Which
yeah.
I go there, yeah, and you're like, okay, let me put the responsibility on maybe somebody else to choose it for me because I'm not going to be the one choosing it.
Yeah, she's a close friend of mine for like years and lives out there.
Yeah.
So I was like, I
Yeah.
feel more respectful asking you what you consider your flag
Yeah.
rather than me picking what I think is your flag.
Yeah. Definitely. 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 With that, do you ever think you'll try to collect the maybe more vintage might not be the right word, but if like you come across those different iterations, would you ever be open to getting both of them, or do you think you'll just always get the current iteration?
I think it's a bit difficult with some
Yeah.
countries more than others because
Yeah.
they've dissolved for reasons, and I think that's probably a question that I'd ask myself when I
Case
come
by
across it. Like
case.
I'm not actively looking for them, but
Hmm.
if I come across like a vintage market, like my city just loves a vintage market, so I happen to come across one,
Yeah.
I'll probably consider it then, and then have it with me for some time before I consider whether it's appropriate to stick on my
Yes.
backpack, where I'll carry around with me.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. And that's a great point. I mean, it's always important to be conscientious of what what you're wearing and what it showcases, and if there is any, like implications of like wearing this one versus this one and things like that. So it's always
Yeah,
good to just be aware because there's so many different situations, and it's just important to have that perspective and that reflection and be like, okay, maybe this versus that, you know, totally, totally,
Yeah.
totally. When as you kind of keep growing and collecting your patches, do you think you'll in the future pass them down or gift them to others, or do you think you'll just kind of always keep it for yourself?
Or I think I'd like to keep the bag to myself, but I know there's
Yeah.
gonna be a time when the bag does eventually fall apart.
Yeah.
And I hope at that point I can take them off and either choose to like store them in a similar way to like yours, like on a wall
Hmm.
in my house and like at
Hmm.
my own place in the future,
Yeah.
or put them onto a new bag. And I think I'd like to keep it with me for as long as I can travel. If I have like kids in the future, I'd like them to be able to see it and then use it if they feel like they want to.
Definitely, definitely.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
or even like start that's how I actually got into patches was my dad, he started collecting patches and then got my brother in and I into it, albeit a little reluctantly. We were not ones to want to collect patches at the start, and then obviously I've now fallen in love with it, and it's one of my favorite things that I do. But it's always fun because I now get to see my dad's patches and see his collection and the way he displays it. And it's started that love and started that fire in me to also do the same. So that could be cool. As if you know have kids in the future, other people seeing it, you can help inspire those while still getting to keep it for yourself.
Yeah, I think the thing I'm most likely to do if I travel with someone, I was like, oh, I'm kind of curious about patches, to buy them the patch from that trip
Yes,
and
yeah,
hopefully start
get
like
their
yeah,
foot in the door.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I ever have kids, I'd like if I travel with them, I'd want to say they're like 2 months old, give them a patch
Mhm.
and like keep it
Yeah.
aside until like
Yes.
they're old enough to understand the meaning and be like, hey, you like my
Hey, look.
backpack? Use it everywhere you've been to.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, and get started that way. That's actually really funny. Through this project, I learned that one of my really good friends actually collected patches. Had no idea, but her mom did the same thing for her. Is she growing up just collected patches, kind of on the side as they traveled, and then when she came to college, she her mom gifted her these patches and was like, "Hey, these are all the places you've traveled in your childhood." And now she has them on this duffel bag, and it was really cool to see. And I was chatting with her about it just the other day, and I was like, how did I never know you did this? But she explained the situation, and I was like, that's so cool. I love it, and it's a great
Yeah.
connection to the places, but then also to your mom of like you've got to share those all of those experiences.
Yeah, there's a few other bits on my bag. Like I picked up. I've been to Croatia before. It's kind of coming back to the collective things the countries you've already been to. But I went on a
Mm-hmm.
sailing trip with some friends.
Yeah.
So we got, so I got a clove hitch, a bit of
Okay.
rope as a key ring as
Cool.
well. And
Yeah.
I've had friends give me little travel keeps, which is really
Yeah.
nice. So
Very
I'd
cool.
like to give them back one day and be like, hey, you was
Oh,
buying
yeah.
bits of my thing. Here's
Yeah.
something for you. If you
Yeah.
want it, excited and share the love a bit.
Definitely. Oh, I love that, and that's so sweet, and that just helps it showcases the specialness that they've had in your life too, and that's very fun. Do you
Yeah.
collect anything else from your travels aside from patches? Like, is there anything else that you, when you go, you're like, this is another souvenir that I really want to collect?
I'm quite a big collector.
Well, I think if you're
um,
a collector of one thing, it's hard sometimes not to be a collector of multiple.
yeah, so my fridge at uni has magnets from like every place I've been. Like even like
Love it.
little trips from not countries, I pick them
Yeah.
up because there's always so many magnetic surfaces in the house you don't even realize.
Yes. Yes.
Um, yeah. And I also collect postcards. I keep a scrapbook of
Love.
like postcards in different countries. Cause I
Mm-hmm.
found when I was moving out to uni, a collection of postcards under my bed from like years ago, which are
Yeah.
mine. I've been picking up over the years. So I kept them in a scrapbook, and then I've gifted for my 20th birthday. It was like a scrapbook fill in for each country.
Yeah.
I always kept, for my parents, I always kept scraps of like tourist maps and
Yeah.
like underground
Little
maps.
things.
So I started
Yeah.
using them. Yeah, my collection's got quite big.
Love it. But that's so fun, and I'm sure it's amazing to go through and look at all of those experiences that you've had and see just the travels. And I'm sure it sparks some great conversation if anybody comes over and sees those things. You get to chat about where you've been and what you've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
I think for me, patches will always be my favourite because they get to come with me.
Yeah.
But like, it's also great having bits that can stay. 'Cause unfortunately stuff happens, luggage gets lost. Like,
Yes.
it's always nice
Yeah,
to have a bit of a backup.
definitely. And one you can kind of keep in your eye on and make sure that you know, or at least have knowledge with it of like where it is, and so you don't miss
Yeah,
not only the stuff in it but also the pack itself. So
sentimental. Yeah.
yes, yeah, love it. Well, love it. Well, Emily, that kind of brings me to the end of my questions. I so appreciate you sitting down and talking with me today. It's been so lovely to hear about your collections, but also your travels. You've been to so many amazing places, and I hope you continue that journey and enjoy all that you get to see and enjoy your trip. You said to South Africa. I hope that's
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. That's also my bucket list, so I'll have to check that off one day. I love to hear it.
Yeah. Thank
Love
you.
it.
It's been great talking about it all.
Yeah. I know it's been such a fun thing through this recording. I never knew that there were more people out there that also like enjoy doing this just like me, and it's been so cool to sit down and talk about it and just hear about everybody's collections and the stories that come along with it. It's very, very fun.
Yeah. Thank
Love it.
you.
Yeah, of course. All right. Well, you enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you have an amazing day and then weekend, I suppose, right? You still have the rest of the weekend, right? I think
Yeah, but
the time differences. I'm like, I don't want to accidentally be like, yeah, the weekend. And you're like, no, today's actually my last day of the weekend or
yeah,
something.
it's late afternoon right now, so it's like
Okay.
tonight and then tomorrow. But
Okay.
yeah.
Lovely. Well, enjoy. I hope you have a great rest of the day, great rest of the weekend. And thank you so much.